Alright y'all, we need to talk. The NBA has lost its mind. Trades flying left and right, fan bases crying, and conspiracy theories running wild. This season's moves weren't just shocking, they flipped the league upside down. Luka Dončić in a Lakers jersey, Anthony Davis chilling in Dallas, Jimmy Butler a Warrior? This is the kind of chaos we live for. But trust me, there's more to this than just big names swapping zip codes. We're diving into the real reasons behind these moves, the hidden agendas, and the stats that make them either genius or straight up disastrous. Let's jump right in. Kyle Kuzma's been putting up big numbers in Washington, but let's be real, empty stats on a losing team don't mean much. Now, he's on a contender. The Bucks just added another scoring weapon to help Giannis and Dame, and suddenly, Milwaukee looks even scarier. Kuzma's averaging about 22 points and 7 rebounds, and if he embraces a third option role, this could be one of the most underrated moves of the season. But that's a big if, because while Kuzma's offense is solid, his defense, well, let's just say Giannis might have some extra coaching to do. But even with all these trades, one of the biggest controversies this season has nothing to do with trades at all. It's about who got snubbed. LaMelo Ball put up 27.3 points, 7.2 assists, and 5.1 rebounds per game over 33 appearances this season. And somehow, he's not an all-star. Seriously? What are we doing here? Look, we get it. Availability matters. LaMelo has battled ankle injuries this season, missing a good chunk of games. And let's be honest, the Hornets are downright miserable right now, sitting near the bottom of the East with no real shot at doing anything meaningful. But when you see players with worse stats getting the All-Star nod just because they play for a winning team, you gotta ask, is this really about performance, or is it just NBA politics? A quick glance at the 2025 All-Star reserves makes LaMelo's snub even more questionable. Take Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Maxey. Both are great, but neither is putting up LaMelo-level numbers. Even Drew Holiday, averaging just 17.5 points and 5.4 assists, somehow made the team. Granted, those guys are on winning teams, but are we really just handing out all-star spots based on team records now? LaMelo has that kind of dog in him. He's not the type to sulk over being left out. Expect him to take this personally and go nuclear in the second half of the season. He's already dropped 40 plus in multiple games this year. Something tells me LaMelo's got that on his agenda. Let's talk about the Warriors, who just made a move that nobody saw coming. The Warriors are back on their let's shake up the league nonsense, but this time, it's not Kevin Durant walking through that door, it's Jimmy Butler. Golden State managed to land the Heat's toughest player by sending out Jonathan Kuminga, Chris Paul, and some future picks. Jimmy's the kind of guy who turns teams into contenders with sheer willpower. Last season, he averaged 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 5 assists over 60 games while dragging Miami through the playoffs like he had something to prove. Now he joins Steph, Clay, and Draymond, creating a lineup that's built for war. The only thing scarier than this squad, the possibility of Jimmy and Draymond going at each other in practice. The Heat, meanwhile, are officially in rebuild mode, leaving Miami fans wondering what's next. But before we get to another franchise making questionable decisions, let's take a quick pause. If you've made it this far, you clearly love NBA drama as much as we do. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stick around, because trust me, what's coming up might be the craziest part of the video yet. Sacramento fans, we need to talk. You had a franchise cornerstone, a guy who dropped around 27 points per game last season, the fastest player in the NBA. And somehow you thought, yeah, let's trade him. De'Aaron Fox is now a Spur, and that means Victor Wembanyama just got himself an elite point guard. San Antonio went from rebuilding to a playoff contender in about 5 minutes. Fox's speed combined with Wemby's length, that's a nightmare for the rest of the league. Meanwhile, the Kings got a handful of young players and draft picks. But let's be honest, Sacramento's draft history isn't exactly stellar. This trade feels like they pressed the reset button at the worst possible time. The next trade in this list is more than just a simple trade, it's a full-on drama. You ever wake up, check Twitter, and immediately question reality? That's what happened when news broke that Luka Dončić was heading to LA. The Mavericks, in what might go down as the most bizarre move in recent history, traded their 25-year-old superstar for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. Luka, the guy who just last season put up 34 points a night while casually grabbing 9 boards and dishing out 8 assists, is now rocking the purple and gold. But why would Dallas do this? Some say Luka and Kyrie weren't vibing. Others believe the Mavs' new owners, the Adelson family, who have deep ties to Vegas casinos, are setting up a future relocation. For more context, in late 2023, Mark Cuban, the longtime owner of the Dallas Mavericks, agreed to sell a majority stake in the franchise to the Adelson family. The deal is valued at approximately $3.5 billion. Imagine this: the Las Vegas Mavericks. Sounds wild, right? But hey, the NBA has done crazier things. Meanwhile, the Lakers, they just secured a post-LeBron future with one of the best young players on the planet. And if you think that's the end of the madness, just wait until you hear what Dallas did next. One day you're a defensive anchor for the Lakers, the next you're shipped off to Dallas to be the face of a Luka-less franchise. That's Anthony Davis's reality now. A D's always been one of the most dominant big men in the league when he actually plays. Last season he averaged around 25 points, 12 rebounds, and nearly 3 blocks a game. However, injuries have continued to impact his career. In January 2025, Davis suffered an abdominal muscle strain during a game against the Philadelphia 76ers. So the real question is, can he stay on the court? The Mavs now have a new big three of AD, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson. Yep, Klay joined too. On paper, this trio looks dangerous, but paper doesn't account for injuries, egos, or father time. Dallas went from having a young cornerstone in Luka to gambling their future on an injury-prone star and 2 aging veterans. If AD stays healthy, they might be onto something. If not, well, let's just say Vegas might be getting an NBA team sooner than expected. So, what did we learn today? The NBA is a soap opera, Sacramento still makes bad decisions, and Adam Silver might be playing 4D chess with these trades. The future of the league is shifting rapidly, and the next few seasons could define the next great era of the NBA. The NBA is changing fast, and this past week has been one of the craziest we've ever seen. Superstars are moving, teams are being reshaped, and we could be looking at a completely new league in the next few years. Are all these moves good? Absolutely not. Are they entertaining? Oh, 100%. Which trade was the biggest W? Which one makes no sense? Drop your takes in the comments and let's debate. In other news, the Mavs have traded Luka Dončić to the LA Lakers. That's already kept the internet buzzing. But did you know there was something even darker behind this trade? No? Then click on this video to find out what happened.